What's the next bag?
Well, this is a question. It's a question about this bag. Is this a bag of?
Is it a questionable bag or was it a question about?
I think maybe it's both.
Maybe it's both.
Is it a bag of Ish, a bag of that smelly stuff, or is this some nuggets in this bag, some other type of nuggets, some gold nuggets? Is it a bag of Ish or a bag of gold here, sir?
Let me tell you a story. So an old man, he got on the bus. He was, shuffling like old men do, but he was moving slower than maybe usual.
Oh.
And people noticed that something was a little bit off about this old man.
He was that old, folks.
Yeah, he was really old. And as the bus began to, continue on the journey, the old man, relieves himself. He defecates in the middle of the bus.
Wow.
Yeah. Which, like, imagine you sitting on the bus.
Can you imagine?
And the old man just literally pulls his pants down and takes a shit right in the middle of the bus.
I can smell it now.
You can smell it. Can you smell it?
It's funky.
Smell it? That's the usher.
Got to be funky.
So this happens, but this is why I say it's a bag of shit and a bag of gold.
All right.
There was a lady that cleaned up after the old man and just did her civic duty and was compassionate. So my question for you is, would you clean up after the old man who just dropped a deuce in the middle of the bus?
Before I answer the question,
shouts to that lady.
Shout out to that lady.
Shout out to that lady.
Who when you shared the article with me,
yeah.
said that when they asked her about it, her response was, she basically didn't even want to talk about it. She was like, we all
gonna get old.
We all gonna get old.
Yeah.
Nah, I wouldn't have been the one to clean it up. Not me. Not me. I wouldn't have been the one to clean it up.
Yeah.
I would hope that. See, this takes me to one of those places where, because if y'all don't know, Club Centennial, like I want to do it. I want to do it the raw way. I want to be that 103-year-old gardening, serenading my great grandchildren, while eating olives, stuffed with red pepper, 3-piece suit wearing old guy. Okay.
Right.
And then I want to pass away in my sleep.
Okay.
Hopefully nobody ever wipes my behind for me. Hopefully I never lose control of my faculties, but I understand that that's not everybody's path.
Right.
That's one of the things, man, and when I reflect on that, I just reminded to myself, man, to be humble.
Right.
Because anything can happen to any of us. And especially in my case of having health challenges that include being a codependent, but also having, actual health challenges that have made my life harder biologically. I just know that at any given time, I could be that. I could be that old man.
Yeah.
And so
I mean, I've shitted on myself as a young man. So
tell us about that, a.black.
Nah, we ain't gonna have that. We ain't gonna have that discussion. I'm just saying, like, it's happened. It's happened. And I would, man. That's the thing. Like, if it was my grandpa or it was my grandma, I would have want somebody to have been as brave as that lady who, like, put aside all her ideas about what should be done or who should clean it up. And she was just on it. She didn't work on the bus. She was just a lady that was on the bus. She pulled out the napkins from her purse and just, like, started wiping it up. And the bus driver was like, you ain't have to do that. Everybody was like, you ain't have to do that. But she was like, man, come on now.
Y'all could have did it too.
Y'all could have did it too. Like, somebody had to do it. And, man, like, the world needs more people like this lady.
Let me be extra vulnerable. And
we all can be this lady.
Let me be extra vulnerable. And as a recovering drama addict, I'll say I might have came with the drama.
Yeah.
It might have been too much for me.
Right.
See the old man.
I think I would have been a coward. I probably would have ran. I would have got off at the next stop, more than likely.
I don't know if I'd have started talking mess to the old man.
Right.
Because I would like to think that my character is not weak in those ways.
Right.
But, if it was somebody next to me who I was comfortable with or maybe wasn't comfortable with, I might have, started venting in a way that, I think it's better. If you don't have something good to say, don't say anything at all. I feel like I would have fallen into the trap.
Would you clean up the old person's defecation?
Would you clean
That's
up
a question for Instagram. That's a question for YouTube. It's a question for the email. Let us know. I want to know. That's a question for our WeChat group. If you're on WeChat, jump in our group.
I love your body language. If you're listening right now, I just want you to go ahead and look for the video of this podcast on YouTube just so that you can see a.black in that moment. Look like a politician. Somebody was going to vote for
you.
That was great. So
what is the, if you can recall, what's one of the most selfless acts you've ever witnessed? You have ever witnessed in person?
There might be any number of other acts that I would like to say, but the one that I'm gonna go with is that. So before my father, Robert Everett Patterson, the original, before we remixed it, before he passed away, at one point he was on life support, and he was in the hospital, wasn't doing well at all, and I can remember my aunt being there, and taking care of him, cleaning him up, wiping his behind when he couldn't wipe his own behind, and that was peace to see. Yeah, I think that's all that I have right now. I can't really remember anything in terms of strangers. How about you, sir?
I can't even, man. My memory's so bad.
I think it's messed up that we should be able to recall this.
Right.
Out of all of the things that we have memory recall
all the things
for,
I can remember all the bad things that I've ever seen. But like when it comes to remembering the good, they say you gotta say 2 good things for every bad thing you ever say to anybody.
I could probably tell you what year the Staying Alive soundtrack came out. By the way, that was not a good movie. Do not go watch that one. Shout out to John Travolta, Olivia Newton-John. We love y'all, but that was a potato. I could probably tell you what year that Staying Alive soundtrack came out, and all types of other knowledge that might be considered frivolous in comparison. But how many of those acts that I would, that type of kindness, could I say that I've really witnessed? That I might have a hard time with. And then I'm
lucky. I am lucky though, because like, for example, my last 2 birthdays. I'll give a personal example. My last 2 birthdays, like the community here in Shenzhen have like pooled together with their financial resources and their just resources in general to like give me gifts that have really like blessed my career.
This dude
like
gets
this
a lot
camera
of love.
That we're shooting this on was a gift.
Love.
And that's just really selfless and beautiful. So that's one of the examples of recent history where I can think of like people just coming together and blessing me. And then this past year, my birthday was like 2 weeks ago at this point, a week ago. Happy birthday to me.
Hey.
And it's my Jesus year, 33. Larry Bird, Scottie Pippen year.
Grant Hill.
Hey. Oh, wow. That's a lot of great 33s.
A lot of great 33s.
We got to have a discussion about who's the best 33. Not now.
Did Shaq have to wear 33 at one point?
He was maybe, but he sucked when he was 33. He's better 32.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, 32 and 34. I think 34 it was 34 when he was with the Lakers.
But I think he did 33 too.
Yeah, I think he did 33 at one point also.
But it wasn't.
That was probably in Boston or in Cleveland.
Yeah, I think Boston.
Woo! Shaq.
Because Larry, no, he couldn't have did 33 in Boston.
No, he couldn't have did 33. Shaq, you could have been the greatest.
Let's not.
Big shout out to the Diesel. Shaq, I love you. Pass the bag. All at us. You could have been the greatest, Shaq. Could have been the greatest.
Hey, according to the most recent poll the most recent like list that ESPN put out, he is top 10. So
without a doubt.
So I mean, without a doubt.